Grounding is extremely important. And I know anybody who's gone through an awakening or is going through the ascension process has come across articles and content online about grounding and why it's important. So I wanted to do a video to explain a little bit more from my perspective about how to ground, why it's important, and how to tell whether you're becoming, if you're becoming ungrounded. So why is grounding important? Well, when we come into this dimension, when we're born, we have to anchor ourselves into the body, right? So we come in and immediately we start to focus using our five senses on our new environment, this physical dimension. So that brings us down into the body. It kind of almost disconnects us to some extent from our multidimensional energy, from our higher self. We become really focused, and there's a lot of distractions in this physical realm to focus us away from our higher self. So we start to focus and we get anchored. We have traumas, we have experiences, we have things like that bring in these lower vibrational energies that anchor us into this dimension. Now we come here to expand our consciousness. So the experience that we're to have is to awaken to our multidimensional selves, to our higher self, and go through an ascension process. And when we do this, what often happens is that we start to create this space within our body, but then as our vibration increases, we allow our energy to move out into our mental field and vibrate at this higher vibration, and we almost detach from our body. Okay, we're up, we're communicating with spirit, we're in this feels like we're in an etheric realm. Things feel almost dreamlike, that kind of thing. This is very common when we start to go through the awakening of the ascension process. And that could lead to being ungrounded. And what happens when we're ungrounded is that as we're operating up in this mental field, we're bringing in this higher dimensional energy. Our body is releasing these energetic blockages. They're starting to come up, and we're hanging out where these densities are rising up into. And we could start to experience fatigue and anxiety, fear, all this stuff as it's trying to release. And we get into these situations where we start to identify with these emotions, these denser energies, because we are not grounded in our body. And I know I went through this after I awakened. The communication with spirit, with my higher self, my spirit guide, my ET guides, was so cool, but I wasn't really advanced enough consciously. I hadn't grounded enough of my higher dimensional energy to really experience them from the focus of my physical body. I had to really almost go up and experience them that way. And then I would find that the more I reached up in frequency to try to connect with them, I would get fatigued, I would get tired, and then I would have these amazing experiences, but then maybe a day later I would crash. I'd be exhausted. I'd start to experience some of these dense emotions, these fears, anxiety would creep up out of nowhere, and that's because I was really bringing in a lot of light, a lot of higher frequency energy, but I was hanging out up in it, and I became ungrounded, untethered almost from my body. So we have the mind, we have the body, and we have the spirit. And the body is crucial to integrating these higher dimensional energies. And in order to do it with as little resistance as possible, we want to stay anchored in the body. And when we stay anchored in the body, we could have a full experience. We could stabilize our core, we could stabilize our energy, and we could allow clearing and densities to come up, and we could observe it instead of become it. So when we kind of float up in the higher vibrational energy, we kind of float up. It's almost like we're getting hit with missiles when this stuff releases, and it really rocks our energetic field. So we need to ground to be able to stabilize the process. We came here to have the experience of our soul, of our multidimensional higher self, from the physical perspective. That's why we're here. So we want to be in the body. So how do we get in the body? Now, I've done videos on breathwork. There's meditation. These types of modalities will get us into the body, but we don't have to really go through a formal process to ground ourselves. We want to be able to connect ourselves into our body and connect ourselves into Gaia, into Earth, because she is here to assist us with this. She is an anchor point for us. So we can do this just by simply being aware of our body, okay? Regardless of what we do, if we're walking around, feel the ground beneath your feet. If you're eating, taste the food. Put your attention and your awareness on what you're eating. Drinking water, very high vibrational. Bring it into your body and feel it. Feel it in your body. Move with it. Very much like breath work. Okay? So focus on your body with what you're doing. Are you cold? Are you warm? What sensations do you have right now running through your fingertips, through your feet, your skin? Chakra 11, talked about that a few videos ago. What are you feeling? Bring this back to the body. Simple things like that. Again, we don't have to make it a formal process. If you're starting to feel fatigued and ungrounded, maybe a little anxiety, and you take a walk outside, smell the air. Okay? Smell the air. Bring it back to the body. Walk in the grass without your shoes on. What does it feel like? Feel the earth connecting with you. Very simple things like that is really all it takes to bring the awareness to the body. And the more you do that, the more space you're going to create. You're going to stabilize your central channel. You're going to stabilize your energy. And you're going to create space within your body. And then when you go do your breath work and your meditation, you're more conditioned. Your mind is on board to get in there with you and really get a deeper sense of what your body is trying to tell you. Because remember, the body, again, is that bridge between the spirit and the mind. So when we could really ground and we could really focus on our body, we could really get that energy moving into the areas where there's dense energy and move through those areas using breath work and meditation, guided meditation, whatever it may be that works for you, and start to release these blockages. And you will be in a much better space to be able to release these densities and really process and integrate this energy and ground more of your soul's energy, more of your higher vibrational multidimensional self. So that's what grounding really is about. Again, just to summarize, can be done in many different ways. The important thing is to get focused on your body and focus on the experiences that you're having. And if you get your five senses involved, that's really good, because again, that ties the mind back into the body, and then the mind will start to really feel what the soul is trying to bring through, right? So we create this space, and then we get more in tune with what our soul is trying to show us. So that's how I do it. Give that a try. I want you guys to really realize that there are many ways to ground. I know there are many other ways. I just touched on a few. If you guys have some thoughts, I'd love to hear how you ground. I know yoga is popular, fantastic for grounding. There's grounding mats. There's all sorts of things that we could do. So go ahead and list yours below, and that would be fantastic. I would really appreciate it. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and again, leave a comment below. And if you have not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.